Hello and welcome to another Devtoberfest session. This is the final week of our event, but rest assured that all the sessions that were presented during these 4 weeks are available as well for you recorded in our SAP Developers YouTube channel. My name is Vitaly Rudnitsky. I'm one of SAP developer advocates who brought you this event. But obviously this event is about knowledge sharing, and therefore it is my big pleasure to hand this over to Alex, who will present building your own AI agent-based solution with Generative AI Hub, but this time using Java, because those of you who attended a session an hour ago, or maybe watching the recording, know that we discussed already how to use JavaScript with our SDK, and now it's time for Java. Alex, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Vitaly. Just really to emphasize the last video by Pin presenting the JavaScript counterpart for the similar presentation was amazing. Please check it out if you are interested in the Java programming language. Today, that's something very special. We will look at the Java presentation, the Java part of programming. I will try to use like modern frameworks, modern API, and my main focus today is to show you our SAP Cloud SDK for AI. It's a great library, it's a great SDK that will help you to build your own AI agent-based solution with communicating with the SAP Generative AI Hub. Oof, lots of words. Please be prepared. We will come into live coding in a moment, which, of course, you know, some live coding is high stakes, so things might get difficult. Let's see how good I am today on this evening. Okay, so first off, what is the agenda? I will give you a short introduction to my team, the product that I'm working with, and what we will use and leverage today in this live coding. It's the SAP Cloud SDK for AI. We will look into our demo. The challenge, you may already know, you may not know. So I will give you a brief introduction what we will do, and we will shortly draft some strategy how to tackle this challenge. And then the really important part is the coding, which let's see how this goes. Okay, a small sneak peek that you can already see is the application that we will look at in a moment. So, but before we go to that, let's start from the beginning. Who am I? What am I doing? I'm Alex. I'm working for the SAP Cloud SDK for AI. And I can only recommend you to check out our public documentation portal at SAP GitHub.io AI SDK. You will find both the Java part, the JavaScript part, and you can learn more. You can ask questions. You can really dive deep into the AI topic for SAP. Now, maybe some of you know the name a little. I mean, we've been active within the SAP developer community for a while. We started with the SAP Cloud SDK. This library helped you. It's still alive. It's still working great, and we are still delivering new features. It's for I would say the regular cloud native application development, especially when you're doing this on or with the SAP Business Technology Platform. It's available both for Java, JavaScript. I highly recommend you to check this out. If you ever plan to develop something within the SAP landscape, please do so. Now, for the AI part, this is an improved, like a focus on a special AI topic within SAP. So we integrate specifically and very carefully with the SAP AI Core within the SAP Generative Hub, and there specifically also with the orchestration service. Orchestration service, please check it out. It's an amazing tool, amazing platform to leverage all means of cool features that are available within SAP. We will take a look what that means for our coding application in a moment, but this is for now just a sneak peek. We are available for Java, JavaScript, Python. As Pin in the previous video, in the previous demonstration, also mentioned ABAP, as some of you are very interested in ABAP for some reason. It's also in development, and it's probably serves you well as well. Okay, now let's consider our challenge. What do we want to do today in our short session? Um, let's say I want to have an intelligent purchase order monitoring system. Why would this be relevant? So in our scenario, we would assume someone in a workshop, maybe they have some monitor, some screen there, and they want to make sure that over time, purchase orders are being monitored. And if something with an anomaly happens, maybe it should be tackled. Maybe someone should look into that, right? And since we are in the topic of AI, we want to make this as intelligent as possible. So what can we do? Let's see. The scenario purchase order monitoring system is given to us. For now, only it's a Java application. It loads purchase order items over time. It is integrated with SAP S/4HANA, great. And we are polling new items over time. We may see what is their delivery time. We may see their overdue. We will see the quantity, I don't know, the material, all information that you may know. Yeah, you probably have worked with purchase orders in the past, and yeah, there are lots of information to draw from. Now the idea, let's make this polling clever. Let's make it clever in a way that the user can give some limitations to what purchase orders they want to monitor. What that means, just wait, give me a moment and you will find out. It's, I think for me personally, it's the most impressive part. And what we do then is once we have our polling, yeah, we have implemented this in a clever way. We want to identify overdue purchase order items. That sounds easy enough. And we want to escalate those overdue items. I mean, that's what you want to do, right? Where's my order? Come on. It must be sent. And all of that, let's build this within a code-based agentic AI solution. So let's not make this like a code line by line implication, or like let's not make this a protocol or something. Let's make this clever. Let's see whether the AI is fit to come up with a good strategy itself. And for that, of course, we want to leverage the SAP Generative Hub. So this is a architecture screen that you may have seen in a previous video. This is our setup that we want to work in. Don't worry, we will not spend too much time on this. What I want to address here is our application will have it is living within SpringAI and Spring Boot framework. We are integrated with orchestration client, and with that we have multiple tools employed, and these tools may or may not interact with S/4HANA. And of course, we will try to leverage many orchestration service features. In our demo, outside of our demo, we could look for masking, grounding, filtering, and so on. There are many amazing features. But for now, let's take a look what we actually can do. So this is where our ideas get real. Okay, now I will switch my screen to my IDE without further ado. So this application that we see here, it is part of our demonstration, our hands-on session. For now, this is a sneak peek for you. If you happen to attend our TechEd session, you will be given the chance to really lay your own hands on the code. You will be able to try out different prompts. You can come up with new ideas, with new tools. So for now, just envision you are me, and let's try to let's hack our way through this. Okay, so let's start the application as is. I will run the application code. It is a Spring Boot application. We have a bit of a mock server here to mock the S/4HANA integration. Of course, it is working, but for the sake of the demo, let's not get our hand too dirty. While my application is being built, you will see that my app comes up quick, and then we will take a look. So this demonstration will be split into two tasks that we want to look at. One task is to implement code to develop to implement code that reads purchase order items. And the second task is to write code to actually escalate purchase order items that are overdue. Okay, now let's see what we currently have. Currently, we are invoking purchase order tools and we get all purchase orders. I mean, there's not much AI here. It's just really the part where S/4HANA integration happens. So let's not get lost here. So this is my app. It's running. We have this the monitoring system. Right now, it's ignoring my query, unfortunately. So let's assume we are dealing purchase order items. I will execute it. We have a load, and we found 40 purchase order items. As I said, these are not real, as you can tell. We have an amazing mark from Apex Global. We have different delivery addresses and quantities. We have purchase orders and their item respectively. And we want to escalate the ones that are overdue. If we press now, it only says done. Currently, it's nothing happening. This is our testing ground. So let's get this clever. Now, this query, I want to make this something like get purchase order items from Hessen. Why does it why is it important? You will see in a moment. So let's code. Let us code. So we want to invoke the SpringAI. We want to use SpringAI to integrate with our orchestration, with our Cloud SDK for AI integration to orchestration service. So this would look like this. We have a chat client. That's SpringAI. We'll create something here. It wants to be referenced chat model. You might wonder why chat, but chats can also invoke tools, which you will see in a moment what that means. So for now, let's integrate with orchestration chat model. We're formatting for now. And what do we need next? We need to send a prompt. Okay. Lucky for us, we have the prompt available. It's the user query. Okay. What is next? Can we just call it? Yes, we can. And technically, API-wise, this would be enough already. However, it is not giving us our expected result yet because we want to get a list of purchase order items. So let's enforce that. Of course, this is not yet working because we are not given back the correct return type. So let's fix that and use some deserialization logic here. For the SpringAI API, it would be calling the entity method, and then we would put something like purchase order item.class. However, we want a list of purchase order items. So unfortunately, in Java, you cannot do this. As you may, some of you be aware because of type erasure. So yeah, classic to deserialization, we have to use some hyperclass, let's say parameterized type reference. So let's go. This looks good already. Now we got back our result type. That looks fine. But Alex, there is no tool invoked here. We want to use like tool-based AI queries. Okay, so let's add back our tool, and the tool that we already know, it's the new purchase order tool. All right. And the problem now is, even if I put now my query here, that would be yield purchase order items in Hessen, and we're giving a tool, the LLM, the large language model, doesn't really know in what kind of context it's operating on. So we need to tell it some system prompts. That means we need to tell in what kind of context the model is working in. So let's give it something. And this would look like this. Where is it? Not working. Cannot resolve. Okay. Give me a moment, and let's change this a little. New prompt. Okay, I used the wrong method. It's system. I want to do system. Okay. What? All right. Now, what does the system message say? Don't worry, I will not read it out, out all. It's you can guess. We will familiarize the LLM that it's a application. It is designed to monitor purchase order items. It should fetch using the available tools, and most importantly, it should not make up any business data. It should stick to the data that it fetched. Please do not hallucinate, as always. So unfortunately, I am not a prompt engineer expert, so I will count on you to improve the prompt and to make it even better. But for now, this will work just fine. Unfortunately, the SpringAI API as is, this would almost work perfectly. However, one thing is still missing, and this is information about what kind of model should I use for that. I mean, SpringAI cannot really figure this out itself, so let's give this some option. And let's tell it to use the orchestration chat options, the config. And the config is better with an LLM config. And here we will use the orchestration AI model. Now we have different models to choose from. We have made different experiences by using models. So best option for you is to try things out. What we found perfectly working for us is the Claude for Sonnet. So let's use that. And I think this looks already perfectly fine. I would say, let's try this out. I will stop my application and I will build it again. This was a bit fast. Let's hope my IntelliJ actually picked up my changed class file. Okay. Let's see. This is my new application. And I want to execute my query yield purchase items for cities in Hessen. So what do we get? What actually happens now internally, this is the interesting part is, what happens in the background is this query together with the system prompt is being sent to the LLM via orchestration service. And this kind of communication, like token exchanges, authentication, authorization, this is all being dealt with the AI SDK, with our Cloud SDK for AI. And you don't have to take care of this in your own application code. That's all happening by itself. That's amazing. So you don't have to write this in code anywhere. It's all part of being loaded by the environment. And the orchestration service takes care of choosing the correct model. It makes some adoption. It maps the information that we provided to the respective model to be executed, and then we find this. Now, what is now amazing here is that the LLM responded with a tool call that said, okay, I can't give you the purchase orders right now, but here's a tool that you should invoke. And the tool that we gave it is the reading of all purchase order items. And when we send this back, the result to the LLM, it will be clever enough to filter for the purchase order items given the query that we gave. So there is no SQL select prompt or something. So we did not employ any filtering ourselves. That's all happening in the LLM. It is clever enough to understand Hessen. That's the state, right? And maybe my delivery address references cities. So the LLM will know, okay, I will have to check maybe the cities, are they inside the state? Okay, they are, great, good. And this to me is cool. And what is really the cherry on top is if I put in something like Sachsen, it's another state in Germany. The same thing happens again. We will send a query the LLM responded with a tool call. We will execute the tool in application, send the result back to the LLM, and now it does the filtering. And now we get back much more items, different items in Dresden, Leipzig. And the thing that I find great is what makes the usage of AI, in my opinion, best is it is clever. So you can use German, English, Saxony. You don't have to, I mean, you don't have to necessarily do the translation yourself. In this case, the LLM is clever enough to understand, okay, maybe this is the same kind of entity, maybe it's the same kind of state that I can match my addresses to. And again, it's working great. So you may wonder, okay, Alex, that's great in all cities. Doesn't really convince me too much, but you can even you can effectively filter search. You can improve the results set by all kind of prompts or queries. So you can search with quantity, where quantity is bigger than 800 or something. Or what I find interesting is yield purchase order items with pens. So pens in the sense of like what you used to write. And again, the same thing happens. It will query the purchase order items and then it will filter internally. And this is not a substring comparison. So it checks pencil is somewhat related to pen, and then it gives me the result. And that's great. And I would not know how to do this in regular implementation. So no way. So this is what I think is amazing. Okay. This is what I wanted to show you first. And what does it do in SpringAI? I wanted to show you the read purchase order tool. This is SpringAI style. So you define your tool by giving it an annotation. And what SpringAI does next, it will look at the method signature. It will know that there is some kind of return object, and it will also check for the arguments. And what SpringAI does is, with this information provided, what I highlighted here, it will instruct the LLM call, the model call, to use a specific output format when it sends or reads data. So SpringAI is translating this information that I highlighted to a JSON representation, how a tool is being defined in a way, in a callable way. Okay. So amazing, this works. I'm already impressed, but let's look at the escalation part. I mean, this is what I also want to show you. This is like the next step, the next iteration of a similar approach. Currently, we don't do anything. So once we get an escalation that we want to do, we just send out an escalation outcome, true, done. Yeah. That's a placeholder, of course. So let's put in some logic here. Similar to before, we will start with a chat client. And we will again use create. Of course, you may already see some options how to improve the code, how to consider reusing the client. That's of course possible, and maybe even recommended. But for the sake of this demo, let's work with that. And now let's go with the prompt. We want to escalate a purchase order. So we will write something here. Maybe let's say, please escalate for the following purchase order item. And no, maybe send an email and save a note. So multiple things that we want to have the LLM do for us, or to come up with a strategy to solve for us. And of course, I want to attach the purchase order item itself. Here's the item. So that's all I do. I'm using the default toString representation of this purchase order item. And let's see, can I already call? Yes. So again, our outcome is escalation outcome. So let's use that. No, we know, okay, call is not the same. So we have to cast it again. Let's use it, entity escalation outcome class. Okay, this looks good already. What do we need next? So yeah, the tool. So right now, maybe the system message, you can probably tell the system message on top. It's again a similar approach. We tell the LLM what you are and what you should do, what kind of tools that it is capable to run tools, these kind of things. So yeah, let's go tools. Let's see, what do we need? We need a new mail tool. Please do not auto format for me. Then we what do we else? We have a save comment tool. And we have a new save, no, the ask user tool. Please ask user tool. Okay. And last but not least, just for the sake of completeness, a datetime tool. You may, if you have already worked with large language models and if you worked with prompt engineering, it's notoriously difficult to let the LLM figure out what is the current date and time. So this is a good opportunity to use a tool. You can tell I have some compilation exception here because my tools also want to have UI access. So I give them UI access. Okay. And similar to before, SpringAI does not know which kind of model to use. So let's give this a model reference via the options. New orchestration chat options, config, and let's construct a variable config with LLM. And how about we use Sonnet again? That worked perfectly. Great. Okay. Is a static import it is. Okay. Good. I think this looks all right already. I would say let's give it a try. I will stop my application. I will compile and run it again. And while it's compiling, let's take a look what we have. The mail tool, similar as before, is defined via annotation and method signature. SpringAI will explain to the LLM how the tool is structured by employing the description and by saying what kind of response the tool gives and what kind of arguments the tool requires. So what kind of parameters. And SpringAI is clever enough to understand this is a composite parameter. So we have address, subject, and text for our email tool. So the tool description will say how this parameter will be used to invoke it. Okay. Now, let's see, my application is ready. Let's start again with our pen example. Why not? Oh no, let's maybe something else for maybe with quantity this time higher than 800. Let's go. And again, so some of these queries you cannot compare, you cannot really implement with SQL or with OData filter expressions. It's really hard. So let's see. Here we have some things, and let's look at the first one, the paper clips to Frankfurt. It's yeah, almost it's 3 weeks overdue. Let's press the escalation button. Let's see. So the interaction with the LLM now includes all of the tools available. So you can imagine the tools need to be described in JSON, and the payload is also structured with JSON and the system and user prompt. And what comes back now is the tool call for asking the user, that's another tool, what kind of email to send. So this kind of input here we have, this is all generated via LLM. And I think that's very amazing. So Here it asks us whether this is the kind of email that you want to send. And I mean, yeah, okay, for now, we can instruct it further. We can edit the content here, but for the sake of this demo, let's just continue. Email is sent. So the tool was invoked, and the next tool was invoked to update the purchase order item. This is also reflected within our UI here. Okay, this is the whole story. This is how we implemented a clever way to enable custom user prompts. And in addition to that, we implemented a way to invoke multiple tools, but not run them ourselves explicitly, but they are run implicitly via the LLM. So the LLM decides what is a good approach for using these tools. And this is what we get here. So at this point, we are done. We are successfully developed our application, and it didn't take much, right? So this is pretty much all the code that was necessary when using SpringAI, and I think that's very cool. All right. Now let's go back to our presentation. What we have learned. Please take a look at the SAP Cloud SDK for AI. You have a great time to integrate with the SAP AI Core. You can use all the amazing features from the SAP Generative AI Hub, and you can use the perfect Open API specifically these amazing services provided by the orchestration service. You can do this both with Java, JavaScript, Python. This is what I really recommend. Take a look, check it out. Some key features here, as you may have seen already. So the API is pretty much harmonized. We also feature native type-safe clients. So if you want to connect to the AI Core API directly, you can do that with the Cloud SDK for AI. You can also access the document grounding API at grounding services directly, which is amazing if you want to, for example, not want to integrate with S/4HANA, but you want to store all the purchase order items in a different way as part of the grounding the grounding services. They're so really cool. And also the prompt registry services, we have a native client for that. If you want to store your prompts, you can manage your prompts in a better way than just putting everything into code as I did. Yeah. So one way we could have improved this demo is if we have used streaming. So of course, chatting with AI is always cooler if you get your streamed responses. It's quicker and you get your data in a faster way. It is supported for the sake of simplicity of my demo. I skipped it for now. Prompt templating, similar as I said, and so on. Yeah. Please also don't miss out on the business AI capabilities as we have as they are content moderation and data masking. Yeah, cool. All right. So again, you will have the chance to check out the demo application. You can try to come up with a better prompt engineering as I did. Maybe you can test out new tools. One thing that we were thinking of is a tool to give a discount on the next purchase order item. I mean, great idea. Why not? You can try to come up with that on your own if you decide to come to the TechEd 2025. And please find our hands-on session with AI 160, yeah, where you can really try out this whole application yourself. All right, this concludes the session. I hope you have fun. I hope it was interesting, and maybe you have learned something today. And I hope I showed you that Java is a great way to develop with a fluent API, with code completion and nice help of our IntelliJ or Eclipse IDE, whatever floats your boat. So it will work for you great. Please find our public documentation on SAP GitHub io/AI SDK. And please don't be afraid of our public repository. Check it out. Our code is open source. It's at github.com/SAP AI SDK Java. if you want to understand how and why we did something in the Java AI SDK, you can post questions, feature requests, and issues. We try to respond as quickly as possible. Yeah, so my team is hyped, and we will be seeing you at TechEd. And of course, with the next application we may develop with the SAP AI SDK. Okay, now I will hand over to the team and to the community, to the SAP community. Let's see, what do you got?
Okay, thank you, Alexander. Certainly, I don't recall any other session during this month where I would heard amazing and excellent so many times. So
Great.
you clearly love what you are doing. The only two things that I learned is that Java looks completely different comparing to when I was a student, because unfortunately it was the last time when I wrote any Java code as my career developed into data science. So I mostly use SQL and Python. And this is where I heard quite a few times today from you. You see, you don't need to know SQL because basically you can rely on LLM to do all the data stuff. But it was really impressive as well that in your live demo, it wasn't that you had commented codes of block, as in most of the other live demos where people would just uncomment and would say, now it works differently, but you were really typing this live. So my question, what do you think about vibe coding personally?
Of vibe coding, yeah, I think it's a great idea to get applications started. And once you see your first result and you feel energized, you see your application working, and then you can start looking deeper into how it actually works. Maybe this is a good start, I would say, but I would be careful with anything just fully trusting AI. So I'm honest to that.
But you fully trusted yourself, being so brave, as I mentioned, to really type code live without commenting and uncommenting. So that was impressive, excellent, and amazing. Let me add to these adjectives that we've heard so many times from you today. We don't have any other questions in chat. So I just wanted to clarify from my side, when you defined particular method or function as a tool in your code, for agent to know that what this tool is executing, did you need to write as well any comment? The reason I'm asking is that at least in Python, in the SDKs that I used, on top of this function, I need to write some comment block and just like this function does this and that in the human language, just like, what it does, so that agent knows which tool to call depending on the request. Was it the same in your code, or did I miss anything?
Yeah, so it's one thing. It's twofold. On one hand, SpringAI attaches, of course, all parameter variable names, method names, and so if you write your code semantically very well, if you write what this method does as part of the method name, it definitely helps a lot. And also what the parameters are and what the respective result type is. I think these are easy wins. Now, in context of your application, of course, a tool needs to be maybe better described. And I'll be honest, it took a while to come up with a system prompt that doesn't fully explain what one tool does specifically, but how in general a tool may or may not fit into the scenario. So there's lots. So in the beginning, that may take a while until you got your system prompts correct. And my opinion is, if you give enough context to the LLM, at least Sonnet is able to come up with a reasonable tool call.
I see.
But I agree. It's not easy. That's true. Yeah.
Interesting. And the same question we had in the previous video with JavaScript SDK. So right now you were running your example locally, but if you want to use it productively, how would you deploy it?
Yeah. So similar to the JS SDK, you can deploy the application in any way, in any landscape as you want. So currently we do support Cloud Foundry, Kuma, Kubernetes. The only thing necessary is that you have some form of service subscription to AI Core. And if you are if you are a paying customer, if you have some kind of credential, some way to authenticate yourself, you can use the service available to you. And that's the only thing that you need for that is an environment, like it either it's locally, you have an environment variable, or you have it deployed and then it's part of your service bindings. So this will work automatically for you. And this should then almost pretty much work out of the box for you. So
Okay.
depending on your subscription to AI Core.
Cool.
Does this answer your question?
Yes, sure.
Oh.
Thank you for answering my question, and thank you for presenting this. We have another session starting in 15 minutes. So those of you who are watching live, we would give you this 15 minutes break to grab your tea or coffee and join us during the next session, which will be about how to optimize your data to get better results from RAG, or the trivial augmented generation. Alexander, thank you so much once again for presenting, for being so amazingly excited about this stuff. I really believe that your optimism, like your optimism, is easy to be shared. I would like to thank everyone who joined our session live. And if you are watching the recording, please remember that if you participate in our Devtoberfest contest and you would like to get some points for watching this presentation, there is a validation question that has been shared in chat and will be added as well to the session description afterwards. With that, we will conclude this session. Thank you so much, and see you in 15 minutes.
Thank you.
Okay, I start.